Do you? We can. We'll do a pre-show.
Yeah.
So now, and I wanted to share with you, John, because I noticed you were drinking a Dr. Pepper, right?
I saw your mug there.
Yeah. Do you see what's in it?
Yeah, not the tasty thing. But
You don't like
I
it? It's a
I don't
candy. Oh
like
yeah, because
mint.
you don't like mint. Yeah. See. Oh, you will hate this drink, John. I didn't even think about this.
Peppermint hot
All right.
chocolate.
Here's what I'm describing. Well, I'm describing it to you because you are far, but also to people listening. It's a coffee mug with a candy cane in it, and it is normally it's just hot chocolate, but because I'm a little tired, I also did coffee. So it's coffee and hot chocolate with peppermint schnapps. Except
Mm.
here's so, and by the way, it is 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm drinking just for the record. Um, it's I couldn't find peppermint schnapps, and I don't know if it's because they sell out during the holiday season, but this is creme de menthe. Do you know what
Creme
that
de
is?
menthe.
Creme de menthe. Yeah, I'd never heard of that.
Yeah. You
But
seriously, you've never heard of creme de menthe?
no, never. Is that a common thing?
Yeah.
Wow. What's it used in?
A bunch of different drinks and baking.
Yeah, I had no idea. In fact, okay, I literally ran all over town looking for this creme de menthe because
Hmm.
I had a lovely date planned for the evening, and we were gonna have these lovely drinks. And the grocery store didn't have them, so then I went to the liquor store. Liquor store said open, but the door was locked. Fine. I stood out there for 10 minutes, and it turned out the guy was in the bathroom and finally let us in. Didn't have peppermint schnapps. Finally, I went to Bevmo where they said they had peppermint schnapps, they were out. So I grabbed the creme de menthe and I literally took it up to, now I feel like an idiot because she was probably like, you don't know what that is. I was like, is this essentially peppermint schnapps? And she was like, essentially, but it's green. And I was like, oh, okay. I thought maybe she said cream. And
Mm.
and then it wasn't until I got home that I realized the bottle was clear and it wasn't a green bottle. It was, that was, it looks like, it looks and tastes like Listerine is what it tastes like, but a
Hmm.
little sweeter. And I gotta say, I know you don't like mint, John, but this is one of my favorite drinks all year. Hot chocolate, peppermint schnapps, and or creme de menthe, and a peppermint
Yeah.
and a candy cane. And I just love it. It's so Christmassy to me. So I'll make you one when we get together and we play hide
Oh
and
yeah.
seek and
Yeah.
I chop your wood and we do everything that we're doing.
Something else you should try sometime if you never have is get some Bailey's Irish cream
Mm, mm.
and make milkshakes.
Oh, wow.
Just blend the Irish cream and ice cream.
That's actually there's a place out here. I don't know if it's nationwide. It's called The Counter, and you can make custom made burgers. But that's the other thing they're known for is hard milkshakes, and that's one that I'm pretty sure they do.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds good.
Oh, it's tasty.
And I know this wouldn't be up your alley, but if I wanted to make it Christmassy, I could get like a mint chocolate chip or
And
something,
use the
ice
creme de
cream.
menthe and
Yes. Oh, that sounds. Oh my gosh, John. And in Southern California, we get some hot December days, so it would be a very refreshing, hot,
hmm.
or a hot winter day. I don't know what if I said summer or winter, but yeah, that's a great suggestion, John.
You're welcome.
We should start a podcast about this, about holiday drinks, since we seem to know
Right.
so much about them.
I
um.
will say I have put many hours on the Switch this past week due to
Oh
COVID.
yeah, yeah. So John has COVID. So what have you
Yeah.
been doing?
So if I sound differently, that's why.
Have you been
Um,
working?
I worked a little bit Friday, and I worked today, which is a Monday. We're recording on a Monday. Um, but yeah, I took like a day and a half off last week, and
What's your
basically isolated from the rest of the family, and laid on the couch and binge watched TV and played on the Switch, which I hadn't really played on the Switch in like a year.
wow?
Yeah, so
Desperate times, but it doesn't sound like a
right.
desperate measure. It sounds
No,
like it was an
no, it's
enjoyable
been fun.
process.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
started playing a 5-year-old game, Zelda Breath of the Wild, and it's actually pretty fun. So,
And I bet you're totally engrossed in it now. You're like,
oh,
oh, I
I am
gotta
now.
go
Yeah,
on with my quest. Yeah.
yeah.
You know, as I have not had COVID and it's been a while since I've been sick to the point where I'm like out for a few days, but there's something I know you have a child, so it doesn't exactly work this way, but there is
Hmm.
something nice about sort of having permission to just do
Right.
nothing and take it easy. So I'm
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
glad that you're getting that
if
time.
yeah, I mean, if Charlie had gotten it before I did, then it would
Hmm.
have been a different story. But
Yeah.
yeah, we were hoping that Em and Charlie wouldn't get it. So as soon as I tested positive, I isolated the one part of the house, and they had the rest of the house. And but a few days
Yep.
later, Charlie started showing signs, and then Em showed signs. So we're isolating as a family now.
Yep. Now you're one big COVID family. But I do hope y'all feeling better soon and doesn't
Yeah,
get any
I'm
of you too
I'm
hard.
slowly getting there, and Em I think is in the thick of it at the moment. So hopefully in the next day or
Oh,
two she'll start getting better. So
yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm glad you were able to make the time for this, and I know
yeah,
it's hard with. Gosh, I mean, look, it's hard when you're two parents with a toddler, with not even a toddler, with a
right,
baby, let alone a baby with COVID when you both have COVID also. So I hope
yeah,
I appreciate you carving out some time
yeah,
for
no
us and for
problem.
the audience to do this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm happy to.
So when did you get the tree up? Did you was that before COVID then?
That was right after Thanksgiving, so
Got
Jacob
it.
helped us with it. So
Nice. Nice. Looks good. There for the listener that we can see the tree
yeah,
in the background. It looks very there's white lights on it. What is your what are your ornaments like? Like do you have there's a little bit because I want to answer this question too, but do you have like personal ornaments or are they mostly just like, oh, we just needed ornaments, so we bought them and put them up?
it's a mixture. I mean, you can see like there's a pinkish ball there.
Hmm.
There's other ones that kind of match that, or greens and stuff. There's
Yeah.
another one here and some up here. Those were just a package of ornaments that we got from the store that we both agreed on the colors, and then the rest are just family ornaments, ones that I got as a kid. Like there's a string of reindeer here that my grandma gave me one each year for like what is it, 8 or 9 years in a row.
No, I love that.
And so Jacob and took the time and listened to Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer a few times to figure out what order they go in.
That is
And there's
incredible.
ornaments from her growing up, and then ones that we've bought, as a family, each year. So yeah, it's a mixture.
Yeah, I would my guess would be that most people's trees are kind of like that. I would guess some people are a little bit more aesthetic driven only, and so maybe they're not going to have as many personalized ornaments. I don't know.
Hmm.
It'd be an interesting conversation to have with
Yeah,
people, but
that's why you have multiple trees.
that's true. You have the nice tree and the family one or whatever you want to call it, right?
Hmm.
Do you have you don't have multiple trees
No,
though, right?
no,
Yeah, yeah.
no.
I this is the second year in a row that I've lived alone, and I made a very conscious choice last year to get a tree and decorate it because that's important to me, you know?
Hmm.
It's makes me feel like Christmas, it makes me feel good, and I did it again this year, and I felt really good this year, just making my apartment, for me, I'm doing it for
Yeah.
me. It makes me feel good. I love your reindeer ornaments. This isn't quite the same, but I have a little boot that I got. It's not a boot, it's a stocking, but it looks more like a boot because it actually
Hmm.
opens up and you can put stuff in it. It's only like 2 inches tall. And actually,
Right.
Greg Nicewander, who did our Ultimate Frisbee episode, he gave that to me in like fourth grade with another ornament. But what I started doing, I saw went back and checked. 2000 was the year I started, so 22 years ago.
Hmm.
I wrote a note to myself when we put the ornaments away, and all it
Hmm.
said was because it was right after my birthday, and it said like, and I was going over to my friend Scott's house for a New Year's party, and that's what it was. It was right before my birthday. And all the note said is, "Hey Kevin, you're going to Scott's party right now. Now, Merry Christmas." And then love Kevin. And I read it the next year. And so that you could probably figure out where this is going. I've added a note every year to it since
Right.
then. Not quite, I'll be honest. I think I've missed maybe 4 years in the middle there somewhere. But it is I mean, it's like looking through a journal. It's like looking through a
Yeah.
time capsule. It's like the letters get longer and a little more personal. And I usually try to include like what I'm doing with my life just to see the difference and kind of use it as a motivating tool
Hmm.
for where I'm at now. And um, but yeah,
Yeah.
anyways.
I've got something kind of like that, but it was something that my grandma did.
Mm.
She would make these little cardboard or paper stock boxes out of old Christmas cards as ornaments. And so
Oh
she would
yeah.
actually type up a little thing of, um, memories and stuff from the previous year. And she did it for each of the grandkids.
Things that
And
you
so-
like did together as a family kind of thing?
Yeah, or like accomplishments that we had and stuff like that.
Oh, do you still have those? They're
Yeah,
probably around somewhere. Your parents
I
have
think
them,
that-
maybe?
No, I think I've got them in our box of ornaments that we did not put on the tree. So
Got it. Got it. That's so sweet. I mean, every time you've ever talked about your grandma, like she seems so thoughtful and creative and
Oh, she is.
loving, and it sounds like Christmas was something special to her too,
Mhm.
which is very cool.
Yeah.
Wow, I love that. It makes me I might have to steal that idea, do something similar. This is again not nearly as sweet and special as a grandma doing this, but so I'm doing, I'm doing a different Christmas t-shirt every day, right? I've been
Right.
doing this for several years now. Today it's Tyrannosaurus Rex, like with Santa hats on a like an Argyle-ish pattern, and I think it's pajamas. Anyways, um, this is a little bit of a spoiler alert for the rest of my countdown, but I already know what shirt I'm gonna wear on Christmas Day because it's a red button-up shirt with like surfing Santas on it. It's
Mhm.
kind of got a tropical feel to it. It was given to me as a gift several years back, and I this year, while at the Goodwill, found a little boy version of the exact same shirt, little tiny boy version, and so I bought it so that my little 4-year-old nephew Calvin would wear it, and we're gonna be twins on Christmas.
Nice.
And what I did, even though we haven't even done it yet, I've already decided in my head that because this year it's going to be a little bit big for him, right? It's probably
Right.
going to be like go down to his knees a little bit. We're going to do it every year. And there's going to be a nice little sweet spot when he's probably like 6, 7, 8 years old where it fits him perfectly. But then he's going to grow out of it. And I'm saying, even when he's like 18 years old, I'm going to make him try to get a sleeve on there and we're going to take it together and it's going to be our thing. And I can't wait to start that tradition this year. Yeah. So
You need to start looking for a bigger one too.
that's another idea, right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I can't wait. It's gonna be sweet. And my nephew already very much he's down for things like this. He's already got that kind of silly nature, and he gets that Uncle Kevy is the one that does the silly things with him. And so yeah, I'm really excited to start that. It'll be
That's
fun.
good.
Yeah. All right. Anything else holiday that we want to check in on? I feel like this is a good pre-show. We might have to post this as an episode or something, or maybe not. Maybe we'll just have to throw it out to people and say, hey, you better get on our Patreon if you want to listen to this. Yeah, I'm sure if there's more I have to say about Christmas, I guarantee it'll come up in the episode. So
Right.
I guarantee several of the things we just mentioned will come up in the episode too.
Probably.
All right. So should we get into it then?
Yeah, sounds good.
Do you want to ask first or do you want me to ask first? Should we decide that now?
Yeah, we haven't had to decide that in a while.
I know, it's been a while.
Why don't you?
Okay, I'll go first. All right, then I'm gonna hit the theme song and we can do it then.
Cool.
Here we go. John like second lives in. Whoa, did that sound weird to you too? Hang on, let me make sure.
Yeah.
That sounds super hollow. John like second lives in Indiana, I'll fix it at post. Kevin likes the Dodgers and talks on the radio. John plays games on Xbox and on his Nintendo, while Kevin runs around LA with his mustachio. It's the Lack of Genius podcast in your ear holes at last. They don't know they're Mars from Venus, that's why it's the Lack of Genius podcast. Merry Christmas, John. Happy holidays.
Merry Christmas, Kevin, and happy Christmas Hana Kwanzaa.
Thank you. I knew I could count on you for that. Be all inclusive. We got the Christmas theme song, which I mentioned to you just before we went on, but I had forgotten about it. You had forgotten about it, and I was like, yes. All I did is add Jingle Bells, basically.
Right.
It's a little more than that. It was actually fun to put that together. But this is our holiday episode, our Christmas episode, our holiday episode. All of the above. John and I just did a fun little pre-show that we should just plug right off the bat, that if you're not already a patron, that's the place to hear it, because I think it was one of our better ones. We talked about Christmas traditions. Pick a highlight, John. What's something you shared from that episode, from that pre-show?
The ornaments.
Yeah. We can see John's Christmas tree in the background, and we got into a long conversation about the specialness of ornaments and how silly and fun they can be. And you've got a nice set of reindeer that your grandma gave you a different one every year, and I love that. And I'm gonna steal that tradition and do something similar. But yeah, it is early December as we're recording this, and there are a few weeks until Christmas. But let's do a gauge on where, like, I am totally in the holiday spirit. Like, I started the day after Christmas with my t-shirt countdown that we were just talking about. I'm wearing a different Christmas
You mean the day
t-shirt.
after Thanksgiving?
Yeah, sorry, the day after Thanksgiving. I started wearing a different Christmas t-shirt every day and doing that up through Christmas. I've been watching nothing but Christmas movies, like, on loop. Where are you at in terms of the holiday spirit? Are you there?
Um, I listened to Christmas music a little bit, when we were setting up the tree and stuff. Apple Music had they've got this Apple Music TV that's separate from Apple TV. Like, it's a part
Oh,
of Apple Music, and it's just like
yeah, I think.
they just play music videos all day.
Yep, I know what you're talking
And
about.
so,
Yep,
like, that weekend after Thanksgiving, they had it be Christmas music.
got it.
So
Was there new stuff too?
yeah, and there were old songs that, like, someone had created cartoons for.
Very
Um,
cool.
yeah, so it was just a bunch of different holiday music videos. So
Yeah, last year Apple Music, I know they did, like, I forget what they called it, but it was a bunch of new artists doing, like, retakes on
mhm.
in fact, there's an artist named Biba Doobie, if you haven't heard of her. It's a fun name to say, first of all, Biba Doobie. She's British, but I believe of Filipino descent. I could be wrong on it, but yeah, I know she's British, and she sings kind of like rocky, almost like 90s rock sounding songs. I really like her, but she did a great cover of oh man, what did you cover? Now I got to look it up. It's anyways, it was part of this Apple Music package of new Christmas songs. So they do it right. They do it well.
Yeah.
There's my recommendation for the day.
Yeah, I mean, it's the time of year where all the Christmas covers, new ones come out and everything, so
Yep. Winter Wonderland is what she did. By the way, that reminds me. Okay, so in terms of this episode, and I'll get to this point, John is
mhm.
quizzing me on Christmas music, and I am quizzing John on Christmas movies. And so I was going to ask you if you have favorite Christmas movie, favorite Christmas song, and I'll just quickly share that one of my favorite Christmas songs is "Last Christmas" by Wham, and Jimmy Eat World does a great cover of it, and the Backstreet Boys, because you just mentioned all the artists are releasing new. So Backstreet Boys released a version of Last Christmas that is pretty good. I'm kind of into it. So just wanted to share that fact. Where are you at in terms of Christmas movies, Christmas music?
Um, I think it was the Aquabats last year released the Christmas album that was pretty good.
Yep, they've got
Um,
some great. That's right. I got to go back and listen to that. They have a really
yeah,
great one, like Christmas Party or something like that. I love it.
yeah. I just thought about that one.
Yeah.
But I was looking through to see what new stuff has come out. Um, Offspring they released a cover of "Bells Will Be Ringing."
Oh,
I
that
haven't
is going
listened
to
to that
sound
yet.
so good by them.
Yeah, Old Crow Medicine Show has one called "Trim This Tree."
Nice. Uh huh.
Yeah,
I'm trying to look up
but
the Aquabats Christmas song because I remember they had one that I really loved.
yeah. There was one that I thought was really funny.
I think they have something about they either do a cover of "I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas" or something. Why is it not
Yeah,
coming up? That's so weird. That one's good, but there was one. That's weird that it's not coming up. I wonder if they. I don't think they would have
are you
taken
just
it
searching
down.
your library?
No, I don't think so. Maybe though.
Yeah, it was "I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas" too.
That's right. Yeah, that was it. I mean, that I remember that one. I remember I liked that one, but
Oh, that's the name of the album, the
that's
EP.
it. Oh, that's what it was. Okay.
Yeah. And then there's Christmas Steve, Christmas is Awesome, Holiday Road, and Santa Claus Party.
I'm pretty oh yeah, Santa Claus Party. That was it. That's the one that I love. Uh yep, Santa Claus Party is so fun and I can't even remember how it goes, but I'm pretty
Right?
sure I have it on a playlist, so I can't wait to listen to it. And I'm totally going to listen to that Offspring one too. Bells Will Be
Yeah.
Ringing, right? Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
great choice for them.
Yeah. And I'm gonna listen to the Old Crow Medicine Show one too. So that should be good.
Nice. Okay, and then Christmas movies. I mean, do you watch a lot of Christmas movies? Do you have a favorite, a standout? What is your Christmas
Um,
movie experience?
Having grown up in the Midwest, you know, I don't know how many times I've seen A Christmas Story.
Okay, good.
I it I think it's overblown.
Yeah,
Like
I think every
once
Christmas
every
movie kind
few
of is.
years
Yeah,
is, okay,
yeah.
but every year for 24 hours, or more a day. Yeah, that's. But I
It's a
mean, yeah,
lot.
yeah, it is. I haven't watched the new one that came out yet.
I did.
Is it any good? Is it worth
I
it?
I if y- yes, if you're considering that you just said that it was probably your favorite Christmas movie, even though it's overblown, or at
I
least
never
it's a
said it
movie
was.
it's a movie you've seen a lot and you know
Yes.
well. I think you'll have a good appreciation for this movie
Okay.
because they do tie it back to the
Right.
original in a good way, and it's
Yeah. I mean, I know
starring
it's got
Ralphie, Peter
Peter.
Billingsley.
Yeah. Um. I
It's
always
not.
enjoyed the Santa Claus movies,
Yes, me too.
and I haven't watched. I I
I
want to watch
have.
the show, but I'm not a big Tim Allen fan now.
Okay, I have the same
From
dilemma.
and so I I haven't gotten myself to watch it yet.
Yeah. This is the
Um,
dilemma I ran into, and one that I think a lot of us face just throughout the year of like when we hear something about a celebrity that doesn't
right.
necessarily line up with our political beliefs. um it can be difficult, and I think you and I are kind of in
Yeah.
the same boat as far as Tim Allen goes. What is funny, and I won't spoil anything that happens in the new Santa Claus TV show, it's called The Santa Clauses. um he sort of plays that version of him, but it kind of comes off as curmudgeony old man, So
Good.
it's almost like he's laughing at himself, but I think it also gives him an outlet to express some of these. It
Right.
doesn't get political by any means, but
His frustrations.
yeah. But
I
I
I
have
I
the
I am happy to see that Bernard is back.
yes, it is really I'm enjoying it way more than I expected to. And it also made me realize how much I do like the movie The Santa Claus and how
Hmm.
big a movie that was as part of my childhood, because it
Oh
it
yeah.
does make me feel like, oh my God, it's connecting to everything that happened to me as a child with movies.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean that one's probably up there. I have a feeling when I get around to watching the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special, I will enjoy that.
No
So
surprise here. I watched it already. I have been tearing through Christmas media. I also just finished Spirited, which is on Apple TV Plus, which I just got a
I
subscription
haven't
to.
we haven't watched that yet.
I won't say too much about it other than
I mean, it looks fantastic.
yeah, I really enjoyed it. I mean, look, it's a musical, and I'm not usually that into musicals, and it definitely had the feel of a musical.
Hmm.
But again, I won't say too much other than I really enjoyed it. I really, really enjoyed it. But I'm also anyone listening to me right now should take everything I'm saying with a little bit of a grain of salt, because I'm pretty much prone to like anything Christmas related. Even the worst Christmas movie, I'm probably gonna be like, oh, I love that, just because it put me in the Christmas place. So
but you know what my favorite one is.
I do, and it's not. Hang on, because we probably talked about it last year, right?
Multiple times.
And I guarantee, right when you say it, I'm gonna be like, "Oh yeah, duh." Um, oh yeah, duh. Ernest Saves Christmas. Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, okay, we're all on board. Yeah, and it's funny.
Edit note for Kevin: you need to put some crickets in there. In
Yeah, oh,
that
I
pause.
totally will. I totally will add some crickets in there. That will be perfect. And in fact, you know what's so funny is deliberately didn't do a question about Ernest Saves Christmas because we have covered Ernest plenty. And I was like, okay,
Hmm.
well, if I only have 5 questions to work with, let me do something that we haven't touched yet. So that's
Right.
yeah, duh, yeah. Ernest Saves Christmas is number one. And my I don't know if it's been as clear, but do you know what my favorite Christmas movie is? What I probably would there's probably two that I would really choose. Neither
Die
of them
Hard.
have come up yet. No, I've actually never seen Die Hard.
What?
I know. I actually have it on my list for this year. I do, but it's kind of in the same vein, kind of.
The what was the Netflix ones with what's his name? The Santa
Um.
Chronicles or whatever.
Oh
No,
no
that's not
no
what it is.
no. Mm-mm-mm.
Those are good though.
I haven't seen those. I'll have to watch them. I say it's kind of in the same vein because it's debated whether it's a Christmas movie or not, kind of
Uh
deal.
Frozen.
No, but that is debated, and it's not a Christmas movie at all. Let me just tell you.
Yeah.
Gremlins.
Oh, yes, Gremlins.
Gremlins and A Muppet Christmas Carol are probably my two most heartfelt Christmas movies. So,
I do
um,
like the Patrick Stewart version of Christmas Carol.
oh yes,
That's a pretty
yes,
good one.
It is. I saw that for the first time last year. I saw parts of it. I was like, wow, he's very convincing in this.
Well, he's
Um,
British.
yeah, he does. Yeah, he does that very well. What did that just make me think of too? Oh, and the other movie that I just saw is I did see Violent Night in theaters, which is the new one with David Harbour, who is
Is that any good?
Hopper from Stranger Things. It is about what I expected it to be. It's very violent. It's very campy. I think David Harbour is fantastic in it. He plays such a good Santa Claus because this isn't a spoiler. He's Santa Claus, so he's loving and caring towards especially children, and that comes across even though he's doing all these violent acts, they're justified in a way to save a young
Right.
person. So, it's if you like over the top gore, you're gonna love it. And if you
So
don't, then it's not.
this is more like cheesy action movie, not
Yeah,
cheesy horror Christmas.
they almost
like
yeah exactly yeah. It's
Krampus.
much more of an action. Yeah, it's not like Krampus.
Okay.
It's not scary. It's just yeah, it's like actiony. It's probably more in the Die Hard realm, but just
Okay.
expect to see a lot of gore. But again, it's pretty funny. Like there were some pretty laugh out loud like, wow,
Yeah,
who
I heard
thought of
it.
that moments.
Yeah, I heard it described as a comedy of sorts. So
Yeah, I would say it was more funny than anything else. Overall I enjoyed it because again it was set with a Christmas backdrop. I mean, even in the first like 2 or 3 minutes, it starts off with a hilarious scene. You know, like
right.
it's a comedy more than anything else for sure. So I'd recommend it if you're into if you like the action and the violence. So
Okay.
all right, what do you think? Should we tidy some things up?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. I was gonna hit it, but what do we have to tidy up? Do you have anything?
Um,
I guess we don't have to hit the jingle either, but what should we tidy up?
I don't know. I don't
La-
have anything.
Last week we did the Ron episode. I'm trying to think if anything came up from that or last time.
So you can cut this part out, obviously.
Yeah.
You know who the actor Christopher Maloney?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Did you ever watch a show that he was on called Happy?
No, but I've heard about this where with the imaginary unicorn or something, right?
Yes, that's like
Yeah.
Patton Oswalt. Like
Oh,
what you
is
were
it Patton
describing,
Oswalt?
yeah, he's the voice of the unicorn.
I love it.
What you were describing with the David Harbour movie
Uh-huh.
is Happy. Like it is so out there and it is just so funny and dark. I think you would enjoy it.
I was gonna say, and I really like Chris Maloney and Patton Oswalt.
He's such a funny
I'm gonna add it to my
actor.
list right now. Yeah,
but it is dark.
That's great. I'm into it.
And I mean, and it does tie in because it happens around Christmas. I forgot about that.
You just sealed the coffin for me in a good way. That's it. That's the deal maker. I'm gonna watch it. It's a series though, right?
Yeah, there was like 2 seasons.
2 seasons. Cool.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna watch it.
There's only like 18 episodes, so
it's easy to get through. I didn't know that the Santa Clauses was releasing 1 week at a time, and so I ran in. They've done 4, and when the 4th one finished and it didn't go to 5, I was so mad.
Right. Oh, what show have I? Pennyworth was like that.
Oh yeah. I just heard. Who's in that? Someone's in that.
I told you about it.
Yeah. I want to make sure I'm not spoiling the question because somebody I just looked up. Oh, I know who. There's a movie with the dude from Big Bang Theory, the main character. Anyways, it's a movie about a gay couple and two men. Yeah, and the guy from Pennyworth is in that because I was like, who is this guy? I've never heard of him, and then I looked it up, and that's what he's sort of most known for. It looks like.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Pennyworth is weekly.
Okay, got it.
Luckily, I was staying up to date, and then I'd gotten a few episodes behind, and then the season ended, so I was able to just finish the season last week. So.
Got it. Cool. Nice. Maybe I'll have to check it out. Yeah. What is it on again?
HBO Max.
Okay. Cool. I do have that.
It was like originally on like DC's little streaming service that they had, and then just all that went over to HBO Max when that came out.
Got it. Got it. All right. It's on my list along with Happy.
And Warrior Nun.
Um,
You should watch that.
which one?
Warrior Nun on Netflix.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. You told me about this. Yeah. Yeah, that one I might have to. I'm gonna have to. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't do more. Maybe
It's a
just-
little, yeah, it's a little slow at first, but it gets in there and it's interesting.
Okay. All right. I'm in. But I got to do all Christmas stuff right now, so it's not gonna be till
No, yeah.
January.
I mean, it's
Um,
religious, so I mean that could be your tie-in.
Okay. All right. There you go. It's putting the Christ back in Christmas is what it's doing.
Yeah.
Everything cool? You got a phone call?
Yeah, one of my friends was trying to FaceTime me.
Oh, okay. Got it. I just want to make sure it wasn't M or anything. Here's what
No.
I'm thinking. Why don't we just not do a tidy up?
That's
maybe
fine.
maybe I'll just because especially because we just went on a kind of a long rant at the beginning,
Yeah.
which is good. So I think what I'll do is I'll do a quick we're just gonna go right into quiz time and then we can do that.
No, sounds
Right.
good.
Okay. All right, so we just covered a whole lot of ground in terms of Christmas. So I'm gonna vote. I'm gonna suggest that we just go straight into quiz time so we can keep the Christmas party rolling. How do you feel about that, John?
Sounds good to me.
Here we go. Okay, quiz time jingle just played, and then I'm asking the first question, right?
Yep.
Okay, straight into quiz time, John. Here we go. I am quizzing you on Christmas movies. You are quizzing me on Christmas songs. I know we just spent a lot of time talking about Christmas stuff, but is there anything you need to preface me on in terms of the quiz before I ask you the first question?
I don't think so.
All right, then I can do it. Let's just hop into Christmas movies, shall we?
Sounds good.
So I'm starting with a very specific question about a very specific film called "It's a Wonderful Life," because I think most people, in fact, many of the lists that I looked at as I did this research, they consistently list "It's a Wonderful Life" as the greatest Christmas movie of all time. You know, there's no one definitive list, but I think that's the one that comes to mind for most people and is on most lists. So this is as I was reading about "It's a Wonderful Life," I loved this little fact, and so I made it a question. Here we go. So in "It's a Wonderful Life," they were one of the first films to use chemical snow or artificial, like, I mean, other films used artificial snow, but they used this chemical concoction. It was the film company called RKO Studios. They were the ones who developed this new chemical snow. What had been used prior to that was untoasted cornflakes. That was
Okay.
what most films used for snow. That was the popular method. So why did "It's a Wonderful Life" move away from the untoasted cornflake method? What was the reason for it? Okay. Is it A, because it was attracting too many pests onto set? B, it made too loud of a sound when it was stepped on? C, the smell became bothersome? Or D, too many crew members were skipping breakfast before shoots knowing they had free cereal ready to go at all times? What do you think, John? Why did they move away from untoasted cornflakes?
I'm guessing it had to do with sound.
Okay, so that would be choice B, where I said it made too loud of a sound when stepped on. You thinking that's it?
I think that's it because "It's a Wonderful Life" was fairly early on in audio with movies. Like it's not the first by any means, but so they were trying probably still kind of they may have used the cornflakes for silent movies, and so when talkies came out.
Bless you. I thought it was a sneeze.
No, just a cough.
COVID cough.
Yep. So that's
right.
what I'm thinking.
So you're gonna choose it then? You're choosing B. It made too loud of a sound when stepped on. John, you got it, man. Well done. I didn't even think about the idea of like they were mostly silent films up to that point. So it was kind of a new thing coming on people's radar. And what kept happening is in these movies that were taking place in winter, the actors would step on the cornflakes, it would crunch, and then they'd have to then redub the dialogue in post production, and it just became a hassle. So this now eliminated that. RKA Studios head of special effects Russell Shearman developed a new compound using water, soap flakes, foamite, and sugar to create chemical snow. So they were the first to do it, and it kind of became it kind of became the way to do it moving forward. I don't know if they used that specific compound.
Right.
But yeah, It's a Wonderful Life, one of the greatest Christmas movies of all time. By the way, the only Oscar that it won in 1946 was for Technical Achievement Award for the development of a new method of simulating falling snow on motion picture sets. That's the main reason it won. It was nominated for Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actor, Best Film Editing, Best Sound Recording. But the movie The Best Years of Our Lives, which was about men returning home from the war, which was actually happening in real life, won all the pictures because at the time it was just more relatable. So,
Right.
but there you go, New Snow putting It's a Wonderful Life on the map,
Amongst other things.
amongst many, many, many other things. Yeah, yeah. But good job, John. 1 for 1.
See here. So I've and Kevin, I know you know this from working in the radio industry and everything,
Mm.
in the music industry. It's hard to find like top selling, most listened to.
Yeah,
There's a lot of different information.
there is.
So keep that in mind with some of these questions if that seems kind of odd.
Yeah. And that's largely
However,
because like streaming has changed the
right,
way that record sales go,
yeah,
and music that comes out today can't be held to the same barometer as in 1984. It's just
right,
different ways that music is sold to people. So
yeah. So this first question is based off of Nielsen's SoundScan, which started tracking data in 2003.
okay,
And I guess this information was last updated on Wikipedia as of 2016. So it's a little
okay,
bit out of date, but at the same time, I'm guessing it probably hasn't changed much.
pretty general idea. Yeah,
So we all know, or when you can all guess what the number one song is.
yeah, Mariah Carey, right?
Right. All I Want for Christmas Is You,
Uh-huh.
with 3.2 million downloads.
Wow. Uh-huh.
So the question here is, what is number two?
Whoo, I like it.
Do you want to build a snowman from
Okay.
Frozen, which I know we kind of talked about is debatable as to whether or not it's a Christmas.
Yeah. But it gets
And
played during
this,
Christmas season.
yes,
Yep. Yep.
yes. Which, if you ever want to hear a funny version of that song, there's one out there where they just bleep out the word "build."
It's like Jimmy Kimmel's unnecessary weekend unnecessary censorship, right?
Right.
That's pretty funny.
Your second option is Christmas Eve / Sarajevo, which is Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
Yes.
Technically, it was under another band name, but all that entire band is now in Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
That's such a good song too.
The song Mistletoe by Justin Bieber, or Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree by Brenda Lee.
Wow, these are good. Oh man, that's gonna be hard. By the way, I had an epiphany the other day with All I Want for Christmas Is You. You don't have to change the words to it, but if you imagine that Mariah Carey is singing about ham, it makes the song 100 times more entertaining. So I highly suggest that. Okay, so second on the list, and we got either Want to Build a Snowman. That was a second choice. What was the first choice again? Okay.
That was the first choice. Do you want to build a snowman? The Christmas Eve / Sarajevo by Trans-Siberian Orchestra, Mistletoe by Justin Bieber, or Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree by Brenda Lee.
All right, I think I'm gonna eliminate the last two. I don't think Bieber's. I know that he had some pretty successful selling Christmas things, but I don't think that's number two. I don't think "Rocking Around the Christmas Tree," even though I love that song, is up there. So I do think it's between the Frozen song and the Sarajevo song. And the wording of it is the most downloaded, right? According to this Nielsen scan.
Yeah, I mean, this is
again. It's what's the second biggest?
This
song?
is the list of the top 10 best-selling Christmas singles on the Nielsen SoundScan.
I'm so okay. So the Frozen is a huge franchise, and so part of me is like, man, could that be it? But that Trans-Siberian Orchestra one, even though it's a different name, is sneaky popular, and I think I'm gonna pick that one just because it's everywhere and it's probably potentially more global than Frozen. I don't know. I'm gonna choose B. I'm gonna choose the Trans-Siberian Orchestra one.
Oh, I gotta get my buzzer up.
You gotta buzz me or ding me.
I haven't
had to do this in a while.
Right? Okay, hit live. Turn the volume down. I remembered to do that.
Nice. Okay, I got buzzed. All right. All right. How close was I? Was I at least close on the second one or no?
That was yeah. That was
Okay.
song 3. I actually gave you the options in order.
No way. That was 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Yeah,
At least I was close. Oh, so the
you were.
Frozen song. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Do You Want to Build a Snowman is, according to this, the second most listened to. Um, so, yeah. And actually, Trans Siberian Orchestra is the only one that is in the top 10 twice.
Really? Oh, because they have
Yep.
another. What is the other one?
It's just Christmas Canon.
Okay, I bet if I heard it, I would know exactly what
Yeah.
it was. But when I think about that, I think about like out here, it's Coast 103.5. They play Christmas music year round. Like radio just plays that song like crazy. It's just an easy, fun to listen to Christmas song. Very interesting, John. You got me. So I'm 0 for 1. You're 1 for 1. Do you have anything else on that for us?
That's it.
All right, I'm gonna do number 2 for Christmas movies. I feel like you're either gonna know this one immediately or you're not. I thought. Well, I'll read the question and then I'll go into this. Which actor, John? Which actor who played an iconic role in another Christmas movie has a cameo in the film Elf? Which actor who played an iconic role in another Christmas movie has a cameo in Elf? Is it Macaulay Culkin, who of course was Kevin McAllister in Home Alone? Is it Peter Billingsley, who was Ralphie in A Christmas Story? Is it Tim Allen, who who we were talking about earlier from the Santa Claus? Or is it Johnny Galecki, who is Russ Griswold from Christmas Vacation and also was in Big Bang Theory and has had a successful career since? Which of those 4 has a cameo in Elf?
It's been a while since I've watched Elf.
Okay.
I will admit I'm a fan of Will Ferrell. I'm a
Yeah.
fan of Jon Favreau.
Uh-huh.
I'm not the biggest fan of Elf.
I understand. I
Um,
understand. They have a beef too, those two, by the way. As part of this research, I essentially that's why an Elf 2 hasn't happened. I mean,
Huh.
I think officially it's because Will Ferrell has said only if it's a good script and he didn't think the script he saw was good enough. But the rumor is that it's because they're beefing and they both have contracts that say they would have to be a part of a sequel. And anyways,
But I want to say Johnny Galecki.
Russ Griswold from A Christmas Vacation,
Yeah.
Johnny Galecki,
hmm
locking it in.
Yep.
You are incorrect. Correct answer is Peter Billingsley, who played Ralphie from A Christmas Story. So I thought, and I'm glad that I asked this question because I realize that some things that I just because I learned them, a couple years back,
Mhm.
I think that they're common knowledge and they're not. Because my brother's fiance, Brooke, actually texted me this fact, and she was like, "My mind is blown." I'm like, "Oh yeah, I already knew that." But he plays an elf in the North Pole named Ming Ming. He's kind of like he's not officially the head elf, but he goes around and he checks in on Will Ferrell, and he's like,
Yeah.
Will Ferrell's like, "Oh, I'm gonna be under my quota today, Ming Ming," and he's like, "Well, how many did you make?" And he's only made 85, and he's supposed to have 1,000. Yeah, that is Peter Billingsley. And in terms of your assessment of Elf, I think that's fair. I remember when I first saw Elf, I loved it.
Mhm.
I never thought it would become the every year Christmas movie that it is. I mean, it
Right.
is consistently on lists of the top 5 Christmas movies of all time now. And
But I
I
mean,
am
Jon
I'm happy for
Favreau is
Will
good at
Ferrell as
doing
Jon
that, though.
Favreau. Yeah. Say that again?
Jon Favreau is really good at doing things like that because he
Yes.
did that with
Yes.
Elf. He did that with the first Iron Man movie.
Yep. Yep.
He did he kind of did it again with the Jungle Book movie. He did the
There's a
live
great
action one.
there's a great series on Netflix called How It's Made, movies How It's Made.
Mhm.
This is where I first learned that fact, and there's a lot of really good facts. But one of the things that little it's a little short 30-20 minute documentary about how Elf was made. One of the things they kept pressing home is that Jon Favreau's goal in this was to make a Christmas classic that you could watch every year. And I'm sure a lot of people have that dream when they make a Christmas movie, but he very much knew what he wanted to make, and every decision that he made had to do with that. In fact, one of the things I also learned from that is that it was originally a much more raunchy script. It was more of an adult movie, kind of in the Bad Santa realm. And Chris Farley was initially written. I mean, he had passed away by the time it actually got made.
Right.
But in the early 90s, when they were first trying to make it, they thought it would be a Chris Farley kind of film. And so they kept some things from the script, but and it's funny because when you watch it with that knowledge, you can kind of see like there's
What would have
certain
been for
scenes that
Chris
they left
Farley?
in and like, oh, if they had just gone further with that, there's a little bit of edge to it.
Yeah.
So I thought that was an interesting one. But yeah, Peter Billingsley, look out for him if you didn't already know that. In Elf, and also you can see him in the new A Christmas Story Christmas, which I think we talked about that in the pre-show, but it's a continuation of the Christmas Story. Ralphie is an adult now and has kids of his own, and it's
Mhm.
if you go into it with very mild to low expectations, you're going to enjoy it. It is sweet. It has a lot of heart. It's a little bit like, but I enjoyed it. So there's my sort of recommendation.
Cool. Okay, you ready for number 2?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready for number 2. I'm 0 for 1. You're 1 for 2.
Yep. So I took a look at that list, and it happened to have years songs were released.
Oh, okay.
So I decided let's just go with the oldest song from the top 10,
Okay.
Jingle Bell Rock. What year was that song released?
Oh, Jingle Bell Rock is the oldest one. Okay.
1957, 1960, 1967, or 1970?
Wow. Read those 4 choices one more time for me.
1957, 1960, 1967, 1970.
Man, because it's got that oldies rock sound to it, which is great. It's such a good. Wait, so it's Jingle Bell Rock, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I do love Jingle Bell Rock. My goodness. I think. Ugh,
I mean, it's the classic one from, Home Alone where
yep.
he set everything up to have the party and
Michael Jordan's on the train, cardboard cutout of
Mhm.
Michael Jordan's going around and he's dancing with the guys. Yeah. I'm tempted to choose one of the 2 middle ones, although a lot of times our strategy is opposite, where we either choose the highest or the lowest of something. For some reason, 60s is what came to mind immediately. Now, 1957 is just 3 years before the 60s, but I'm either between what were this? It was it 1960 or 1967. Those are the 2 60 choices.
Yeah.
I'm going with 1960. I'm saying it's slightly earlier in the 60s. I'm saying 1960 that song came out. Dang it, over 2.
1957.
It was the earliest.
And actually,
Wow.
I might have gotten songs mixed up because the second oldest song is "Rocking Around the Christmas Tree," which was 1958. I think that was actually the one that was used in Home Alone.
I can't confirm nor deny
I
because now
can't.
I
It's
can
one
hear
of those
both
two.
fitting because they are both very similar songs and they came out around similar times.
Yeah, and I think they're both used.
I think they are too. So the scene weird, and I hope there are people at home yelling right now,
Yeah.
like it's this one. But how do I Google this? Home Alone dance scene. Oh,
Tell you what,
dance,
Kevin, we'll leave
dance.
this as a tidy up for next time.
Tidy. No, I'm already there though. I'm already there. I got it. We could leave it as a tidy up, but now I'm like, okay. Oh no, I don't have the option to do this. I'm doing it now, John. I'm doing it now. You can't hear that, can you? Oh wait. This is so stupid. This video is just a recreated version. Okay, we're gonna have to leave it for a tidy up, or we'll come back. We're probably leaving the entire audience frustrated, but it's what we got to do.
Oh well.
All right. Well, so Jingle Bell Rock is the oldest in 57, but Rocking
Mhm.
Around the Christmas Tree was what year?
1958.
Oh, only by 1 year. So similar. Okay, very nice. That's a great little nugget of info though that I hope our audience can share around the Christmas table this year.
Mhm.
Here's our next question. Because I did call this a holiday quiz, I wanted to make sure that we included something that wasn't Christmas. And I got to thinking about Hanukkah movies and how there really aren't very many. And before I don't go down a list naming any that come to mind, because this is going to be part of the question here. But I went and I looked into Hanukkah movies, and I have a list of 4 movies here. Which
Okay.
of the following 4 movies is not the title of an actual Hanukkah themed movie? Basically, one of these I made up, right? The other 3 are actual Hanukkah movies. Which one is not an actual Hanukkah movie? Is it A, Mistletoe and Menorahs, B, 8 Crazy Nights, C, the Hebrew Hammer, or D, from the dreidel to the grave? Which one is not a Hanukkah themed movie?
It's either A or D.
A is
'Cause-
mistletoe and menorahs. D is from the dreidel to the grave. Does that mean you have heard of the other two?
Yes, I have. Um, Eight Crazy Nights is Adam Sandler's cartoon movie about Hanukkah. And the Hebrew Hammer was it was on I think it came out on Comedy Central maybe. Like it was just a stupid stereotype comedy thing.
Yeah,
Uh,
without revealing that you're correct. You are correct. I can't believe you've heard of it. I had never heard of the Hebrew
yeah,
Hammer.
yeah,
So
yeah. Like how you had the blaxploitation movies like Foxy Brown and stuff like that.
yes, it's
It's
in
kind
this
of like
realm.
that. Yeah.
In fact, I was going to save this for after the question, but since we've already revealed it, it's starring Adam Goldberg, who, if you
That's
don't
his
know that
name,
name,
yeah.
you would recognize him. But also Andy Dick is in it playing Santa Claus's son, and it's about a
Yeah.
private detective who is, quote, part man, part street, 100% kosher, and his mission is to save Hanukkah from Santa Claus's evil son, played by Andy Dick. And it looks over the top and silly, but I do
Oh, it
kind of want to
is.
watch it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's over the top. It might not be kosher now,
Uh huh.
but yeah. Um, I'm just gonna go with D, from the dreidel to the grave.
Dreidel to the grave. I'm glad you remembered the title of it, John. You are absolutely correct. Well done. I made that one up. I just looked for something that rhymed with what was I looking for from the dreidel? Oh, I was looking for something that rhymes with cradle, and I was like, what's a popular saying that rhymes with dreidel? So, anyways, yeah, I totally made that up. Mistletoe and menorahs sounds like something I would make up though, but that is a real movie about a man and a woman who make a deal to learn each other's holiday traditions, and they realize they have a lot more in common and they fall in love. So that was from 2019. You're right. Eight Crazy Nights is Adam Sandler's. That's one I haven't seen and I do want to watch this year because I'm a big Adam Sandler fan. And we already
It's a
talked about the
pretty
Hebrew
decent
Hammer.
movie.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen clips of it and it was funnier than I thought. And also, if I recall, because I had a few Adam Sandler comedy CDs, comedy
Hmm.
albums, and I think there's a character of like an old man who's a referee who makes an
Yeah.
appearance in that movie or something. So that looked kind of cool. But great job, John. Look at you on a roll with these 2 for 3 to start, and I'm 0 for 2, so I got some work to do.
I'm 3 for 3.
No, you missed. You guessed Johnny Galecki when it was Peter
Yeah,
Billingsley.
that's right. Yeah,
Yeah,
2 for 3.
yeah. 2 for 3, and I'm 0 for 2.
So I got a true or false for you.
Okay. Oh, I didn't even give you a true or false, so I apologize.
Well, then that's fine because I'm giving you 2 this
Oh my
time.
God, you're making up for it.
Was O Tannenbaum originally about Christmas trees?
Wow. Okay. Well, because I know that song as "Oh Christmas Tree," I know it's "O Tannenbaum," and the obvious thing would be to be like, it's got to be about Christmas trees. I'm just not even gonna overthink this, and it's got to be false because I would think that the first thing but I have no idea what it would otherwise be about. But I'm gonna choose false, that it was not originally about Christmas trees.
You are
All right.
correct.
So enlighten me. What is it? I would have thought it was only about Christmas trees.
So the English versions years later, it's O Christmas Tree.
Mhm.
But Tannenbaum is technically the type of fir tree. It's a pine tree, specific type. But the original lyrics never actually talk about Christmas or even holidays. It's just talking about it's just talking about the tree, how faithful it can be, and it kind of was used as a symbol of consistency and faithfulness.
Oh, I love it.
So English translation of it is O Tannenbaum, O Tannenbaum, so referring to the actual tree. How faithfully you blossom through summer's heat and winter's chill. Your leaves are green and blooming still. O Tannenbaum, how faithfully you blossom.
Wow. So it's almost in some ways like could be a year-round song, just about the theme is
Yeah,
consistency, reliability, kind of always being present in one's life. But because this tree is a type of tree that got used for Christmas, it sounds like over the years it turned into just we're singing about a Christmas tree specifically.
right.
That is wild. What is it? Is that German? Did you say?
Yeah,
Sorry, I'm
yeah,
bad with
it's
details.
German.
Okay,
It's based off of a so it was the modern lyrics were written in 1824 um by a guy from Leipzig named Ernest Anschutz. Um he then went on later and added a couple verses to make it more Christmas related afterwards.
got it.
But it
Got
was
it. Got
based
it.
off of a 16th century Cilician folk song.
Oh,
And Cilicia was a
a word you made up.
no, it's I was just looking to see where it was exactly. Um, it's kind of in between
Sounds like a Star Wars planet.
Poland and Germany and the Czech Republic.
Got
Um,
it.
next along the Oder River. I think it's
Okay,
Oder.
got it. But it was a
So
folk song written in that region, kind of for the
yeah,
region.
yeah.
Wow.
So technically a Polish, but at that time it could have been German, could have been Czech. I don't know because
It was a regional. It was
yeah,
regional. Yeah.
yeah. So,
Well, now we
but
know.
yeah,
Now when we sing, because I sing my Christmas tree goodnight every night by singing O Tannenbaum, and now I will know the true meaning behind it.
and I will share a funny story about that song.
Uh huh.
Um, you know, I mainly know O Tannenbaum from the Snoopy
Yeah.
Christmas,
Me
because it
too.
gets sung during that, and because with the Red Baron and everything. And so I knew that it was O Tannenbaum, and I knew it was German. Apparently, I didn't know that Tannenbaum did not mean Christmas tree, but I know that now.
Now you do.
But my first roommate at Manchester though thought they were saying "Oh time bomb."
Oh, time bomb. Oh, time bomb.
Hmm.
It's like a Rancid song.
Right.
That's
So
pretty good. Because Rancid does a song called Time Bomb. I would love to hear Rancid do a Christmas song, and I would love it to be O Tannenbaum, and they just do that. It might be too obvious though. Who was your first roommate? Some guy?
um
Don't even remember his name.
yeah, I think he was only there for a year.
Okay, so no one I would know. Oh,
Yeah.
fun times, John. Thanks for enlightening us about O Tannenbaum. I feel like we're 3 questions in each. There's 2 more, but I feel like I'm learning a lot. I feel like we're dropping
Yeah.
a lot of little Christmas knowledge bombs.
You want to do a
All
little bit
right.
of a speed round?
How? Yeah. How do we do that?
We just go quicker.
Oh, got it. Well, good luck. Good luck with going quick on this one because this one I need to explain a little bit.
Okay.
Number 4. Okay, but I hear what you're saying. Okay, here's what I had to do because when I was looking for the top Christmas villains of all time, and there are so many lists out there, and some of
Hmm.
them are produced by votes by like readers of the whatever the source was, and some of them are just the opinion of the person who wrote the article. And so I could not find a good way to base it. So what I did is when I Googled the word top Christmas, I looked for Christmas movie villains ranked. That's what I Googled. I took the list, I assigned point values to each list. I put 8 lists together and I was very scientific about it. And I now have the official top 10 list of the top Christmas villains of all time. Okay, so that's how I
Look
did
at you
this.
trying to be all Rotten Tomato.
I know. I really tried to be very fair and unbiased about this and just take everything that these top sources were giving and putting it into this now conclusive list of what I have is the top 10 Christmas villains in movies of all time. So, which of the following that I'm about to list was not in the top 5? Okay. One of the 3 of these are in the top 5. One of them is not. Which one is not in the top 5? Is it A, The Grinch? B, Ebenezer Scrooge? C, the wet/sticky bandits? That's Marv and Harry from Home Alone. Or Scut Farkus, who, if you don't know that name, is the bully in A Christmas Story, the little redheaded freckled kid, Scut Farkus. So again, the Grinch, Ebenezer Scrooge, the Wet Bandits, or Scut Farkus. Not in the top 5. Which one is not in the top 5?
I'm gonna say the Grinch because I don't think the Grinch is a bad guy.
Interesting. Well, that's like a whole nother argument. So you think and which actually makes perfect sense for because some people may not rank him on their list because he does appear
Right.
on the list. I'll tell you right now. but you're saying that probably less people put him in the top 5 because of that.
Yeah.
Okay, Grinch is incorrect. In fact, it was very close. So Grinch was number 5. The one that wasn't in the top 5 was the Wet Bandits. They were number 6. They were right behind. Are you good?
Okay.
Do we need to wrap up or anything for right now, or do you need to pick up later?
No, I think we can finish up. We've only got a couple more questions.
Okay.
total,
All right.
so.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, a quick rundown of the top 10. Number 10 was the Gremlins, or Stripe from the Gremlins. Number 9 is Krampus from the movie that came out a few years ago about Krampus. Number 8 is Bumble, who was the abominable snowman in Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. 7 is Hans Gruber from Die Hard. 6 is the Wet Bandits. 5 is the Grinch. 4, what is kind of surprising to me, Oogie Boogie from Nightmare Before Christmas. I guess that makes sense considering how hugely popular that is. Number 3 is Ebenezer Scrooge, any iteration of him. Number 2 is Scut Farkus from A Christmas Story. And number 1, Mr. Potter from It's a Wonderful Life, was kind of a unanimous choice by most of these lists. So
Yeah.
I had a fun time putting that list together, and I hope my work is appreciated.
Okay.
All right.
Next one. And you've
Let's
got
do
what?
it.
You got 1 right so far?
Yeah, I'm 1 for 3. You're 2 for 4.
Yeah. Good King Wenceslas is based on the 13th century tune of Tempus Edest Floridum, which is a carol for what season? Spring, winter, summer, or fall?
Oh, beautiful. Wow. I say Wenceslas. Why do I say jolly old King Wenceslas? But my guess would be spring. And in fact, I just recently learned about Persian New Year, and Persian New Year is celebrated on the first day of spring, which makes a whole lot more sense when you think about calendars. So I'm going to, because it has the word florist in it, and I'm thinking about the blooming of flowers, I'm going to say spring.
Too many windows.
Yay, I got it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fun fact.
You actually evidently know a little bit of Latin.
Yeah.
So Tempus Edest Floridum basically translates to Easter time has come. And so yeah, it was just a carol from the 13th century that someone took and added the lyrics talking about King Wenceslas, who was a real person.
Okay.
So it's a historical thing. He would go around, and he was known for basically giving of himself as a king from Bohemia. So
it's not a Christmas carol, it's an Easter carol is what we've just learned, right?
Well, no, it's a Christmas carol based off of a Easter carol.
I love it. Well, let's just sing it for Christmas and for Easter moving forward is, I think, the fair way to do it. All right. So, you ready for the last one? We got it?
Yep.
You can be good, or do we need to pick it up another time? Okay.
We're good.
Number 5. We're both 2 for 4 going into the last one. So let's see how this turns out. Which of the following actors has never portrayed Ebenezer Scrooge in film? Who has never portrayed Ebenezer Scrooge in film? Is it A, Patrick Stewart, B, Kelsey Grammer, C, Jim Carrey, D, Clint Eastwood? Who has never portrayed Ebenezer Scrooge in film? I know you know one of those for sure.
Right. I know Patrick Stewart.
Yep.
It was Jim Carrey, and what were the other two?
Kelsey Grammer, Jim Carrey, or Clint Eastwood?
I know Kelsey Grammer has.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Clint Eastwood.
Between Jim Carrey and Clint Eastwood, and you're choosing Clint Eastwood. You locking it in?
Mm-hmm.
You got it, John. Putting the pressure on me for the last one. Yeah. I didn't know about Kelsey Grammer. That was a 2004 made-for-TV Christmas movie.
I remembered that.
I didn't remember. Jennifer Love Hewitt's in it. Jane Krakowski, Jason Alexander. I kind of want to watch it now. Patrick Stewart, we know, was in the 99 version. Jim Carrey played an animated version of Ebenezer Scrooge in A Christmas Carol.
That was the one I wasn't too sure on. But
yep, and that one gets replayed on like Freeform all the time now. Clint Eastwood, I just was like, who's an old grumpy guy that I could throw in as a choice? And Clint Eastwood is the name I came up with. He's never been Ebenezer Scrooge. So you finished 3 for 5. I'm 2 for 4. We're going to find out if it's a Merry Christmas for both of us or just for John by going to our last question.
I'm trying to get to my information on my next one.
That's all right.
Ah, there it
We'll
is.
get there.
Okay. So, no, I'm not finding the right information.
That's all right. You'll find it. None of this will make the
Yeah.
airing.
So, the song White Christmas, right?
Okay, White Christmas.
Written by Irving Berlin. It was originally released in 1942, and it won an Academy Award for Best Original Song
Wow.
for the movie Holiday Inn. But performed by Bing Crosby and many others. That's what I was looking for. There we go. True or false? Bing Crosby's White Christmas is the #1 selling single.
Wow. Wow.
World-
Okay. Worldwide, all time,
Yep.
basically.
Yep.
Because we obviously did the list in the first question where Mariah Carey's "All I Want for Christmas Is You"
Mhm.
is like the most streamed or most highest selling. But of all time, it's what's crazy is I think if there's any song that dethrones it, "White Christmas," it would probably be "All I Want for Christmas Is You" or another Bing Crosby one. But I'm gonna choose True. I'm just gonna say I don't, I could go down a number of paths on this, but I'm gonna go ahead and say that it's True. All
That's
right,
correct.
it's a Merry Christmas for both of
Yeah.
us.
So again, this is based off of pure sales figures. It came out in 1942. It's been credited as having been sold 50 million copies. This is kind of behind when or before all that really started being documented. But their guess is by 1968 it already sold 30 million. And this is actually Guinness Book of World Records put all this information together on it. And so they say it's sold 100 million in 2009.
Wow.
So it
Wow.
is, according to different places, the biggest selling single worldwide of all time.
Of all time, not just Christmas.
Yeah, of all time.
That is incredible. Wow. And look, it's a beautiful song and a beautiful version, and it wouldn't be Christmas without it. It really wouldn't.
Yeah, I mean,
Wow,
that's
John.
even beating out, Elton John's Candle in the Wind, which is sold
Thriller.
33 million. Yeah.
Thriller's got to be up there too. I don't know if you have the list, but I was just trying to think of songs that, by the way, that Elton John song, that was the #1 song of the day I was born. I looked at, how like you can you can go and look up the Elton John Candle in the Wind. Fascinating, John. Well, it is a Merry Christmas for both of us because we tied 3 for 5. By the way, the Home Alone scene, rocking around the Christmas tree, which I guess if we really think about it makes perfect sense because they're literally rocking around a Christmas tree. But I wanted to get that tidied up to give some satisfaction to the listeners at the end. Merry Christmas, John. You did a great job.
Merry Christmas to you.
I feel like I learned a lot, and a Merry Christmas to our listeners. Happy holidays. We're so grateful for you listening, and we hope that you get some time with loved ones and all the good things that come with this holiday season.
Yeah, you too. And happy Hanukkah and happy Kwanzaa to those that celebrate it. And
amen to that. And a Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night. Is that how we sign off, John? Is that how we sign off every episode from now on?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we can do that.
All right, beautiful. Oops, I almost hit leave. I'm hitting stop.